into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Kaufmann. Now, let the buzz begin!
There's the sound. There it is. Hi, folks. I'm Steve Kaufmann. Welcome here to AFTERBUZZ TV's Modern Family Recap. This is Season 6, Episode 5. I'm joined by my lovely panel. Please.
I'm Britta Garsow.
I'm Jessie Owen.
I'm Carli Garsow.
And I'm Steve Kaufmann, as I said, and we're going to get right into this. This episode is called... New Neighbor?
It's called Won't You Be Our Neighbor?
Won't You Be Our Neighbor? I knew it was a play on Neighbor. Episode titles, not very...
This one was very fitting, though.
Yes, very fitting. The teaser, we come straight in to the A storyline of the show, which is the Dunphys' neighbor, neighbor Jerry, as he's called, is moving into a bachelor pad. He's being played by Matt Besser, who someone like me who's in the LA improv community knows very well. He founded the Upright Citizens, or one of the people who founded the Upright Citizens Brigade, and he runs that. Now they have 2 different facilities in Los Angeles going all around. And good to see him in an episode. Good to see him get booked a lot. And neighbor Jerry, he's moving out. We don't actually get very much of him. But Phil Dunphy, Mr. Realtor, comes on in, and he's trying to get this wonderful family to move in next to him.
Which, I mean, how often do we really ever get to pick our neighbors?
Rarely,
Never,
if ever.
never. And it was weird that I feel like we haven't really seen neighbor Jerry previously. No, we did. The one episode where he talks about he's getting divorced, and then Phil is nervous that Claire wants a divorce because they're around the same age.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I do remember that, but it's just funny that like they seemed to like him and his wife when she was there. And they wanted better neighbors, but like you had never previously really heard anything about him. And then I don't think they wanted better neighbors. I think that it's because she moved out and he was kind of like depressed, and not as when they just wanted like new neighbors. Not like they don't so like care for him.
If it was between him and the people they wound up with, I'm sure they'd be like neighbor Jerry. Maybe
Exactly. I thought he was going to ask him to come back at the end. I did too when he was going there. But maybe he can afford it.
Looked like he could not afford.
Yeah.
Looks like he could not afford anything until he sold that house.
But it's like it was above asking price or something. I don't know how it works when you buy a house, but I mean, it just seems like maybe you could have paid it off, and because sometimes house payments are cheaper than an apartment.
Oh, a lot of
Typically,
times.
I would assume. Although I would assume the way it worked is that he doesn't own the house. Like he's paying mortgage. He's paying a mortgage on a house for a family, where it's just him. Where a mortgage on a house for a family would be way less, or would be way more than just an apartment anywhere.
And more space than he needs.
Yeah, and way more space than he needs. And if he sold the house, hopefully at a profit, because if he owned the house for 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
This is Realtor Talk 101.
And poor Jerry, he is struggling now. So,
the pickle jar.
but I mean, the moral of the like story is it's really good that Phil like stepped it up, and they were really good people. And then I don't know, can we give that away right now? Like, obviously, like you know, he let the bad neighbors move in, which opens up a spot for Steve Zahn.
Steve Zahn.
Ronnie and Co.
Hey, don't. Be careful with that. That's art.
Yeah.
It's a giant bolt.
Bust of whatever, yeah. The funniest part was when the daughter was like, he's not my boyfriend, I just make out with him so he doesn't make me take his class again. I know.
And my other favorite one was, you're just going to be swimming in shoes. I've had that dream.
I'm a size 6.
It really also set up a lot of like future stories.
Oh yes,
predictions, kind of like Alex and the son. Like maybe something will happen there, which would be so weird. But you know, opposites attract. Like
the
sometimes,
wink.
like the nerdy girl is up for the bad kid. You know,
exactly.
And then I think maybe Haley will be smoking weed over there, maybe.
Okay. Well, it sounds like she's already dealing with this guy.
Like,
oh God, that's where I know him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's gonna be a really interesting rest of the season.
And the obvious, we're gonna have to have that episode with the wink wink, as they implied, where it's just the four of them go on a really awkward outing.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That they have to. The four of them have to go on this really awkward outing where the two of them are like this. Like keep implying that this is gonna happen.
I think it'll be an episode. Do you remember the episode where they were at the hotel and Phil and Claire were trying to hook up the whole time?
Oh, yeah.
And kept going into the wrong rooms and
yes.
all this bad stuff started happening. I think something like that will happen, but I do not think that they would ever have a foursome.
I don't think so either. I definitely think I can see them being friends. I think they're like judging them a little bit right now because they're so different than Claire and Phil. But eventually, I think they'll warm up to each other. Okay, when they first stepped out of the car, did anyone else think that they were just like young people moving into the house? Yes. I didn't think they were a family.
I thought this was an a-hole son, is what I thought this was.
The mom looks like she could be his daughter.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what they're going for.
I thought they were like all just young friends moving into this house, and that was like the problem to find out they're a family. I was like, oh.
That would be a problem.
Yeah. For them.
It's actually the Birthday Boys. They're on IFC. They're a bunch of people. They're a bunch of funny people in LA that before they got the show on IFC, it's literally like 5 or 6 20-something dudes who do sketch and improv.
Oh,
and they bought a house. They bought a house and just did sketch and improv.
That's
like
so
they
cool.
came into a little bit of money, and that's what they did. Where I could see that being.
That's funny.
I could see that being like that happens sometimes, where just a bunch of young people get together by a house.
It does.
Because
it's not a smart choice, but it happens.
If you're making a little bit of money and you could split a mortgage 5 ways, it's probably better than rent.
But then, like, who gets the house?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
do you just sell it and split it?
Technically, all of them would own the house, so you would own a fifth of that property. So you would be liable for a fifth of that mortgage, and you would own a fifth of that property. So you guys would just collectively, all 5 of you would have to collectively decide what to do with it.
I don't think that ever would work.
I think the smartest
That's why I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, the smartest thing would be for one person to purchase the house and then have them sign a lease to rent.
That would be.
And then pay from one person.
And then that one person wouldn't have to work.
Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't.
If they charged up a little.
But if they bought the house, then.
And getting paid is another thing.
Yeah.
Well, actually collecting money every week that is not a fun job.
Yeah.
We've all had to do it.
But now that Venmo exists, it's a lot easier. Do you guys have Venmo?
I don't use that.
I don't know what that is.
It's an app where you can like send money to each other. So it's
like
huge
PayPal?
Amounts, like PayPal. But it's owned by PayPal. It was started by PayPal. It is. It's owned by PayPal, but it's really simple. You just click on the person you want to send money to, type in the amount, and then like send it.
Oh.
With emojis if you want. I use emojis every time.
You would have to use emojis every time.
Yes.
Moving right along, I think we covered that first topic. The second topic, Manny coming home with a girl.
Yes.
Sophie,
we were talking about...
Yes.
Did you guys watch the episode? Was that last week where Manny got dumped by his girlfriend?
It was 2 weeks ago.
Was it?
No, maybe it would have been.
I'll be honest, I did not see last week.
Okay, so then it must have been that one. So we were saying that since he got dumped and we felt so bad for him, we're like, oh, I hope he dates again. And lo and behold, this episode, he's already dating again.
I know. Wait, hold on. Wait, I feel like we've seen an episode where he had a girlfriend now.
She was really popular and she was using him to make the ex-boyfriend jealous. Was it 2 weeks ago?
He was playing football. He was on the sideline. That might have been last week because all the Dumfies were in the hotel room, and then that would have been the B-side. Yeah, I think that was last week.
Okay, yeah.
Judging from Jessie not remembering it, I think that was last week.
Yeah. Sorry, my DVR deleted it. I went out of town and I came back and I was like, yeah, it got full and deleted.
Oh. Well, basically, that's all that happened with Manny was that this girl, senior, was dating him to make her ex-boyfriend jealous and then broke up with Manny when she got back together with her boyfriend. So it was really sad.
Typical.
And then
I know.
Manny gets a bit of a comeuppance here, comes home with Sophie.
Mm-hmm. She's really adorable.
Yeah,
she is.
She seems like she's just like Jay.
Yeah.
Well, because she's Sophie, we don't get her last name, and she's immediately attracted to all the stuff Jay's doing.
Closet work.
Oh, I love closet work. My granddad does closet work all the time. Who's your granddad? And she was Earl.
Earl Chambers.
And then he goes, Earl Chambers. And then it's one thing, it's like he'd kind of know that person, but I like the extra step of like, no, they were partners.
That has to be really awkward if you like stay in the same town and like grow up in the same town, and then like when you have kids, they start hanging out with other kids, and then like what if like your worst enemy ends up being your kid's best friend, and it's like, like
I think it's crazy. Sorry to interrupt.
No.
They took so long to apologize. Well, and they still haven't apologized. Earl hasn't apologized today at all. But I mean, to hold a grudge for that long just seems like a lot of work. I feel like
it sounded like a worthy grudge.
Definitely worthy.
Like they had a lot of stuff going on.
But
it seems like they've been like trying to like get back and forth at each other for years, because he even said that he slept with Dee Dee. Isn't that her name?
Yeah. And then like how he sabotaged his booth at a show or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't think they had a conversation since the incident. Like, and that's why they've never gotten over it, because they've seen each other but not like actually sat down and tried to like.
I've been in those rooms with people who just won't talk to each other.
How awkward.
Just in a professional setting, people who just won't talk to each other. Like literally like tell him that I say.
No way.
And then they're all at the same table together. Just you heard him, right?
That's really awkward. Like,
that's so awkward.
That's very mature too.
Right. I mean, you can like not like someone, but you can still be civil. Like, you have to work with some people. I mean, I work with people I don't like all the time, and like you have to.
Yeah,
it's
a
called
part of
being
life.
civil.
Oh, civility. I had nothing. I had no train of thought beyond. I was like, oh, civil. Someone's gonna say something else. No, all right.
All right. So what do y'all think about that little invention Jay did?
I liked it. I'm big into closets though. Like I love organization, so I really appreciate it because I also like use the same socks generally, like the ones I keep up front, and so I thought it made sense to have them roll in.
Yeah, I'm weird. I'm weird in the sense that I keep all the clothes I want, and that when I'll know it's time to do laundry because I won't have any clothes. Because if I don't do that, I'll never do laundry, and I'll just start re-wearing things. But I've been there where you'll use the same you'll use the same 10 clothes every time. So it's very important to have a flow.
Yeah, it makes sense.
My thing is okay, you have different color socks. Like, what if you need a black pair or a white pair? Like, do you have a bunch of those sock things? Like, I don't know.
That's true.
I
I primarily have black socks, so I guess it would work for me. But you're right. Like, a lot of people have different
it looked like maybe
color.
that slit would be big enough to hold multiple.
I don't know. I just feel
sock.
like that's just something else to spend money on that you don't need.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I think a lot of
that's just
closet
me.
stuff you don't really need. Like you can improvise.
Like a tie, like a tie rack, like a motorized tie rack.
The rotating one.
That would be useless on me. I have 4 ties.
Yeah, exactly. Like
All 4 of my ties.
yeah, rotating.
Hogwarts tie, Hogwarts tie, black tie, white tie, bow tie.
Do you really have a Hogwarts tie? That's awesome.
It's actually coming in the mail. I'm on a Harry Potter improv team. We're playing a Kamikaze a week from this Friday.
Oh, awesome.
The show that shall not be named. That's the name of.
Oh.
That's the name of the team. We are called the show that shall not be named.
Okay, it's like, oh, how?
6:30 Kamikaze, Los Angeles Convention Center, Friday, October 31st.
He wants y'all to come see him. Support.
I brought up that whole tie bit just so I can get segged into pitching my show.
It was smooth. Very
Wasn't
well
it so
done.
smooth?
Very well done.
I don't even know where is the LA Convention Center?
It's by the Staples Center.
Oh.
Just on Figueroa, just past the Staples Center.
But I don't think the world knows that. But you can give them directions later on YouTube.
Yes. A whole YouTube video just explaining how to get there.
All right.
We got it.
So anything else on the closet, guys?
Yeah, like.
Oh, well, the sock thing, I was thinking, like, so if it really is shaped like the soda dispenser, I feel like they would almost get stuck. Like, you need a wheel to, like, turn to get them out. Like, I don't know.
I think it would be more of a tube. Almost like a garbage bag dispenser that you, like, pull one out and then it... You know, like the one from IKEA?
I think... Well... Aren't you still putting your hand in there?
I think guys, you are thinking way too into it.
Well, no, but I
already
think the
told
key...
you it's not a good invention.
No, but I think the key is that you're top loading your socks so that you're always grabbing them from the bottom. So I don't think there's actually like a dispenser where you're grabbing it from, where as much as there's a big enough hole to put your hand in to grab socks.
Basically, it's tricking your mind and you're just refilling, and pulling out the bottom.
Yes. Yeah. They're all the same socks. You just have to make sure
you could just open the drawer and be like, yeah, I wore that
Exactly, because I don't wear the same socks all the time. I thought that was weird. Like, I have a drawer, and I just open it and grab one, but I don't think it's the same
All my socks are gone by the time I do laundry.
Yeah, but I think socks and underwear are the two things that tell me when it's time to do laundry.
Yeah, me too.
It's just like, okay, I have 4 days.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll count them up.
Then it's easy.
I think we covered the closet sock
We're good.
conundrum.
I have to admit, this episode was really hard to have topics to talk about.
I thought
It's
so too.
a very
Sorry,
quick,
guys.
fun episode because we try our best here to not just, oh, this joke was really funny, this joke was really funny. So you have to bring something to yourself, and then you have to read YouTube comments saying, "Don't talk about yourself." So you have to find that balance with this. But we're moving right along.
Yeah, let's get into Lily. I was really happy with Lily this
I
week.
was too.
Me too.
She made a good choice. Most kids would want the easy way out, but
She likes a challenge.
yeah,
She
and
wants
that's
to learn.
good.
Just
Yeah.
really refreshing.
I was not that kid.
I was that kid.
I think I liked learning.
I would have rather had fun, like, definitely. I would have been like, oh, we're going to make something. I was more the crafty kid. Like, I didn't want to learn math. I didn't want to learn that. I just wanted to, like, draw and paint and
I know what
make
you mean.
stuff.
I did like being creative, but we were like the kids that would rather stay inside at recess.
Yeah, we were like the readers. And
That's not wrong. I was a specific type of lazy that I got sent to the principal's office once for doing an entire workbook. That like there'd be a workbook that they'd hand out, and this was probably like 5th or 6th grade. There was a workbook that they would hand out, and that you would have to do like page 1. We're gonna do page 1 today, page 2 tomorrow, and then it'll cover like half of a year. And over the course of 2 days, they were moving so slow that I did the whole book.
That's awesome.
And I got sent to the principal's office, and the principal talked to the teacher in front of me. And it's like, did he get anything wrong? She was like, well, no, but he's being insubordinate. It's like, but he did the work. He's showing a decent amount of ethics that.
That would have been their job to move you to a higher.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But
We had a friend that was so good at reading that like the teacher would be talking and like explaining the activity we're gonna do, probably in like 4th, 5th grade, and she would read like a whole book while the teacher was like talking. You'd be like, Monica, like put that book away. And she was just so smart and fast at reading that she always got in trouble for reading.
She's still our friend.
Yeah.
I really hope I have smart kids. I really do. Like, I just know I'm gonna have that rebellious kid that just likes to get in trouble and does really bad in school.
I want my kid to be smart, but not smart enough to get like ostracized socially.
That's true.
Because I want that middle ground.
But you know, these days, like, I remember growing up that it was, you know, a lot different. Like, being smart was kind of like not the cool thing. But the older I got, the cooler it got. And I had a really smart grade.
True.
Like, I think everybody, like, did good in my grade except for the, you know, maybe 10 people. I think everybody for the most part. Like, because I had like a 3.6 and I was 40 in my class, if that tells you anything.
That's really
I
good.
was in a different
That
world.
is because I had like a 3.6 and I was like around the same. But so I guess I was like in the 30s of our class. So I feel like we had a really smart class too then.
I was a graduating class of 80 people, and
That's how many people I had.
Oh, really?
and I probably had a solid 3.0, and I was top 15.
Oh, that's bad.
No.
That's
It was
really
a trade
bad.
school. It was a trade school. A lot of people were learning to be carpenters and didn't care much about their grade as much as becoming apprentices and like having like blue collar jobs outside of high school.
It was more important.
Which
like,
I
experience.
would value more now. I did digital media, which is one path, and that's college. To keep doing digital media.
Yeah.
We graduated
Yeah.
with 300 people.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow.
And that was small for our city.
There was like 4 high schools in our city.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, gifted children.
Gifted children who just choose and love to do the schoolwork.
But you know, it's going back to Lily. It's really funny that she, like, whenever they finally like switched her to Mrs. Sparrow's class, she got upset about it, and like, but prior we had seen her like complaining, you know, about, oh, she does this, it's not good enough. Well, you know, you see like I guess that's how smart people are. Like, sometimes they break down.
And
like,
I think that
people who really pressure themselves, you know?
And I think she was more so just venting about her homework, and they took it as she was complaining and wanted, like, to know part of it. But I think it was she was working so hard that she just had to let out her frustration in words. So I don't necessarily think she was, like, Cam and Mitchell definitely took it the wrong way.
Well, I mean, she did rip her poster, you know, she like freaked out, and that's a lot for a 7-year-old.
It is.
Like, I can understand maybe 9, 10, you know, getting to the age of you're getting your hormones, and that's happening, but you're 7. You're still supposed to be a child, even though, I mean, it is 2nd grade. You do need to learn, you know, basics, but it seemed like the stuff that she was like, what was the word she wrote on the board? Buffoon. And then, like, underneath it said, like, grease. And it seems like they're, like, learning, like, advanced, like, stuff for, like, 5th, 6th grade.
That's true.
Which I guess is good to challenge, you know.
Just,
I don't know. I just don't, I mean, it's like you have to pick. Do you want your child to be really stressed out, or do you want your child to get a really good education?
Yeah, there's definitely a balance, though, that you can, like, find, I feel like. And same with the balance, like, being smart and socially aware, or I don't know how to really say it, but I feel like there are those kids that are really smart and still have social skills. Like, obviously, there's some that are really, really intelligent and don't have as much social skills, but there's a balance somewhere.
Yeah.
If you have, like, friends and you still concentrate in school.
Well, there's also book smarts and street smarts.
Yeah, there's also those kids that are, like, so talented, but, like, they don't really understand, like, English, math. I am okay if you don't get that kind of stuff. The only thing that really bothers me is if you do words like there and there, T-H-E-R-E or T-H-E-I-R.
Yeah.
Or your.
Yeah, I can't deal with that.
We were journalism majors, so grammar is
literally annoys me to no end.
I know.
Literally, when people misuse literally, I literally get annoyed. I'm literally upset.
Like the kid, or no, that was apparently. That's what I'm thinking of Noah Ritter, but no.
Or the other thing is when people say something's ironic, I don't even use that word because I don't understand how something, like, the definition of it is really hard to, like, things are rarely actually
to the song Ironic by Alanis Morissette, and it will all make sense.
And that's how I think she kind of destroyed the word, though. Because none of those things are ironic.
She started the domino effect.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
I think most of those things are sardonic, right?
Yeah, they're not ironic. Exactly. Like, I feel like that's a really overused word that isn't.
It bothers me when people use poor grammar, but it makes me actually sad when it's grown adults, like our parents' age. Like, whoa, like, do you not learn the difference ever?
But you know, like, okay. I'm not even going to say who does it, but older people I know will misspell words, and then I'd say to myself, I'm like, well, it's maybe because their education, like, wasn't as great when they were growing up.
That's true.
Now it's like advanced, but I mean, anybody in their 30s has no excuse.
No excuse.
Especially now, kids I feel like are learning more advanced things than we learned. So people are just gonna start getting.
So get your theirs right, America.
And your yours.
Yeah. The theirs and the yours and the
twos. Just get it all right.
All those minor things. Just get all those right. Speaking of bad grammar, you can rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Yes,
you can leave us a comment with proper grammar.
Or improper. We won't make fun.
We'll call you out.
We will let you know.
Hey, they don't mind letting us know how awful we are. I mean, come on.
Well, someone last week told Britta and I that Haley actually has played the cello for a long time.
Really?
Which I appreciated because we were wondering why there was a cello in that room. That was last week, right?
Yeah, she's been playing the cello for a while.
Oh, so that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Sarah Hyland just keeps, like, impressing me, like, all the time. Like, she can sing. Now she plays the cello. Like, she can act. Like, she's beautiful. Like, just she's like the package.
The dress she wore to it was like the Emmys or the Oscars. The one with, like, the white top and the pink skirt. Did you see that? It was really pretty.
That girl's just doing her thing.
Firefox isn't going to load that. I was going to pull it up, but I was like, no, that's not happening.
Speaking of Sarah Hyland, she posted an Instagram video today of Jesse Tyler Ferguson, and it's his birthday today, so happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday, bro.
And it was really funny. It was like him in a scuba suit when they were filming. I think they were filming on location, like in Hawaii or something. And he was singing like a musical song. And it was really funny. It was really cute.
I bet that whole cast is just so much fun to be around. Like, I bet I would love to be on that show. Just so I can have like that family, like a second family.
Exactly. If for no other reason than I just want to sit with Ed O'Neill and just be like, what's TV like?
What was Married with Children like?
What was a dog like? What was TV? What's the TV business been like your entire life? Because
speaking of the business, let's move to social media.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. News and gossip.
Yes, let's do that.
Oh wait, predictions.
Well,
no,
news and gossip comes first.
Oh.
I should write some predictions.
So, didn't you have some more?
It was his birthday. That was my
Happy
news and
birthday!
gossip.
Happy birthday to Jessie Tyler Ferguson.
Yes.
And I have one, but you said that y'all talked about it last week. About Elizabeth. Is it Pina or Pina?
Pena?
Pena.
We said Pina.
Pina, I think.
Yeah.
We know that she passed away. Rest in peace. We found out that she died of alcohol abuse, which is so sad. Like, but you know, I have to be honest. I don't remember her being in Modern Family. Like, she had to have been there a long time ago.
I remember like one episode. She played
She's Gloria's mom.
Mm-hmm.
So since they live in Colombia, I think she was just on a few when they were visiting.
Yeah, like a guest
star.
here
I think it was the first 2 seasons. We saw her a little bit.
Now that makes sense. I should have known that. But it's really, really sad. Like, we've lost a lot of like stars that we grew up with. You know, Robin Williams, her, like Heath Ledger, like what's that other guy's name from Glee?
Corey Monteith.
Yeah, like all these people are dying of drugs and alcohol, and it's so sad. Like, I mean, it seemed like obviously we know that what we see on TV and stuff isn't always what is behind, you know, closed doors and what really happens. But it's really, really sad that sometimes that the business can make you do that kind of stuff.
It's very sad. Especially since it's like 100% preventable. Like their death and everything.
I feel like maybe they don't have a good support system.
Yeah, and it's got to be really hard. I mean, there's so much pressure on you. Like, you want to do the best. You want to, like, make everyone proud and happy. And, like, then you have people, like, knocking you down on social media, talking about you, putting you down, just making you feel not worth anything. So, I mean, it's
kind of how I feel about the Renee Zellweger of it all.
That is some new stuff.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, I have to say she looks completely different, but she's still beautiful either way.
I think she looks better. That's what I was saying.
She looks better, but it's just so sad that she went to such an extent to change her face.
But I think we're all noticing so negatively, and like, I don't know, like,
I just don't understand why she did it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, she was still pretty.
I heard I only heard the headline that she lashed out against a lot of people who have been trolling her. Which is what I'm a big fan of, when people lash back.
No, that's great.
I guess she just said that she was really run down in the past, and she was doing unhealthy things to make it seem like she wasn't. So I assume that meant something with her face.
Yeah.
Like, and then she said now she's happy and not as run down, and she's just being herself. And she said people aren't used to seeing her in her 40s, which is true. And so this is how she looks.
She's definitely had plastic surgery.
No, I think she had plastic or something in the past, and now she's done. Like, hasn't gotten like Botox or whatever anymore. And so she's saying like, yeah, I look aged because I'm 45. Like,
well, I can see that. Like, because I mean, she was really tight. Like, you can tell her eyes aren't as squinty anymore.
That's true. Yeah, it's just her face looks so different.
My initial thought was just shock. I'm like, that she looks so different.
I've never seen someone look so different.
I'm so indifferent to these stories where I'm just like, oh, she changed her face. Isn't ISIS still a problem?
Yeah,
exactly. I know. Exactly. There's definitely bigger problems in the world. But I think it was just shocking that she's like a pretty well-known actress, and all of a sudden we see her looking completely different.
Maybe she'll be a guest on Modern Family. I don't know.
Yes, which would tie this conversation back to task.
I feel like we have gotten... It was so hard to stay on topic for this episode, though. Sorry, guys.
I think we stayed on a topic, just not...
You know, like, about Modern Family. It was just... It was not a lot to talk about.
Do you want to know the easy way to stay on topic? do the predictions?
Yeah, let's
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Yes. Oh, we got the quick one there. Let's start
Okay,
from my far right.
Well, I think that Sophie is still going to be on the show with Manny and Earl, like her grandpa. And I almost think that Earl and Jay are going to have some sort of, like, they're going to forgive each other and then do something in the closet business, like something big, something new and funny.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great to see because we know Jay makes good money, but I feel like we see Phil at work all the time and we don't really see Jay
Yeah, we don't.
at work.
Yeah.
And I think the closet business is just like, it's a funny story.
Yeah, and doesn't...
We've seen him. Yeah, his daughter works there as
I was
well.
gonna
Claire
say,
works
yeah,
there.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. But we don't like actually see them doing
Here and there,
Here
we
and
see
there.
them. We see them at the warehouse.
Yeah,
or-
but I feel
Convention.
like we see Phil so much more, which is also a great storyline. I love that he's a realtor, but I would just like to see Jay and then maybe Earl. I thought Earl was a funny character, like really
I did too.
passionate as well. And so I like that. And then Manny with a girlfriend I really like seeing, so I hope that Sophie sticks around. And I liked her. She was smart and cute. So
I predict that next week on the Halloween episode that maybe the families will maybe join together, this is what I hope. I'm not saying maybe. I don't know. But I hope that they join together and maybe have this like haunted house theme. And I think that the family next door will kind of take it to another level than the Dumpies are used to.
I like that.
So that would be kind of cool to see. And I think Alex is going to hook up with the neighbor boy.
I could see
and
that.
then it's going to be conflicted with her new boy that is coming there for school.
Oh, yeah, the college guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Last week we talked about how I would like to see Alex dating. So even though he seems kind of weird, I like what you said, how opposites attract. And so I definitely can picture Alex dating him. And I would definitely like to see the two families doing more things together. And maybe like the Dumpies doing something they wouldn't normally do. Like just get a little out of their comfort zone. And yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much it, what you guys said too.
oh wait, it was Alex that played the cello, huh?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Just
Oh, gosh. Well, I still like you, Haley. Sarah Hyland, I think you're great.
I figured that was a brief aside. Of
Alex,
by the way,
Alex is awesome, too. She can play the cello, because that's really hard.
my prediction real quick is that I think we're going to get to see that wink wink like very soon. I said that already, that like within the next 2 or 3 episodes, we're going to get that awkward like hot tub. I think they're going to
that'd be funny.
like, oh, come on over to our hot tub. It's like, oh, I guess. And then it just gets really weird.
Oh,
that would be
a
really
good one.
funny.
And then also I think Manny will get a girlfriend. It may or may not be Sophie.
I like Sophie, though.
I do too.
Sophie is awesome.
I like the names too, Sophie and Manny. I think it's cute.
Aw.
Adorable.
So Fanny.
So Fanny.
I just did that.
Oh, you...
I lost my man card right there.
guys.
Starting from my right, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Britta_Garsow.
That's right.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Miss Jessie Owen.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Carli_Garsow.
And you guys can find me on Twitter only at Steve Kaufmann. That's Kaufmann. And I'm doing Saturday Night Main Event later tonight if you watch that show. And yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye,
Listening.
guys. Bye.
Brown People News. From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.